get to the point.
Wait,
Your
what?
mission is to find...
What's going on? What the? Ah! Come on! God, what the heck? Why are they shooting? Why am I shooting? What did I do? Well, I can rotate too. And I can switch my what? Oh my god! What happened? What's happening? Oh, this is a weird bug. What did I do? Hello everybody and welcome to another video of the WinsGamer. It's been a long time coming. For some reason, I don't know why. It took me a little longer than normal to get this video up, but hey, it's finally coming. So, alright. To get things off, just like I do in every other video, let's start with the box. As you can tell, we're doing Shogo Mobile Armor Division. Bigger is better. I agree, and there's the cat again. Yes, cat. I don't know why. She loves being in these videos, I guess. As you can see, hopefully, this game is done by Monolith Productions. Let's see if that focus here. Maybe. I don't know. This camera's a piece of crap. Anyways, if you're familiar with Monolith Productions, you'll know most of their games tend to be very violent, very gory, and very awesome. So you can see, it's got the old-fashioned M rating there, not the solid black. It's got the weird spray-on outline of the M, I guess. See, it's made for a Windows 95 CD-ROM image. Yeah, this camera sucks. Yeah. All right. Here's the back. Now, this game is kind of unique. It features Gundam-style combat and on-foot-style combat. It's kind of a interesting game. I like it a lot, which is why I'm doing a video on it, I guess. Forget what you think you know about giant robots. Game features: choose to pilot one of 4 transformable mobile combat armor units, or MCAs. 2 modes of play: on foot and an MCA. Anime-inspired characters and storyline. True 3D environments with realistic lighting, indoor levels, vast outdoor terrains, and awesome effects. Yeah, I suppose. Especially for the time. Yep, and as you can see, very anime styled. So let's take a look at the insides here quickly. Alright, come on. There we go. Got your jewel case, some good old self-promotion, and a really weird thing. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, crappy camera. Well, I'll tell you for you. The jewel case says the game is rated T, which is a little odd. And this thing also has the manual. Yeah, box says M, CD says T. Well, I suppose it's an M-rated game from what I can tell from playing it. It's pretty bloody, but I suppose I can pass it as teen, I guess. Got your types of Gundams there, characters, little background, multiplayer, blah blah blah. There's your weapons. No, it doesn't have every kind of weapon in here. It just shows some of the common ones, I guess. There's definitely more. Got your health packs. Interesting thing about this game, you can actually heal by yourself by killing enemies. If they flash red when they die, or bluish, purplish red, whatever weird color, you get some health. Bizarre. Works even when you're on foot. And there's not much else in here, just important information saying that if you have a USB mouse or keyboard, the game might not work. And run the fix for that. Blood 2 The Chosen. Used by the same engine of the game. Get a little medieval, I guess. Alright. Well, that's enough for the box. Let's go ahead and do some gameplay. So let's start off with the main story of what Shogo is about. Basically, you play as Sanjuro Makabe, who is part of the MCA, which is the Mobile Combat Armor Division, and he's a pilot in the UCA security force. A pilot of basically Gundam-style mechas. There's a massive war raging on for the ownership of the planet Cronus, and whoever has control of the planet will also have total control of the precious ore that is on the planet called Kato. Because of the war, the main character, who you play as, lost his brother, his best friend, his girlfriend to the opposing force, and now his girlfriend's sister is now dead too. And because of this, he is filled with rage, revenge, and basically goes on and, kills whatever is in his path. So, yeah, pretty basic story. I probably got, hopefully, a gist of it, but you know what, I never really cared for the story in the game. I just wanted to pilot a mech and pull crap up. So, yeah. Now, a unique fact about the game is that it features both Gundam-style combat and on-foot combat. And before each mission, you are usually given the option to choose what kind of Gundam-inspired mecha you want to pilot. And also, the Gundam obviously has its own weapons, and when you're on foot, you obviously have your own weapon too. And a lot of them are fairly unique, and they're pretty devastating, especially the Gundam-style weapons. Those are pretty cool. I mean, you got your standard large sword or energy beam laser kind of thing, and then you got your pulse rifle, which fires a basic energy blast that kind of somewhat explodes on impact, and it's one of the weaker base weapons. You got your laser cannon, which is much more accurate and shoots farther and does also a little bit more damage, but has a slower fire rate. You also have your autocannon-based type of weapons, which fire huge, large bullets at enemies, and then you also got your sniper rifle and another weapon that basically annihilates everything on screen. And now when you're on foot, you also got your standard knives. Excuse me. You have 2 pistols. You also got an Uzi, a shotgun, a rifle, which is a little bit like an Uzi, but a little bit more accurate and a little bit more damaging. And you also got your bazookas, your explosive weapons. Now, an interesting kind of fact to this game is that it's the first game to use the Liftech engine, which was written entirely from scratch by Monolith and also powered their Blood 2 game. The game has 2 different endings depending on what you choose. During 2 pivotal points, the first choice alters the actual narration of the story, and the second choice alters what kind of enemy you'll be facing throughout the rest of the game. When the game was released, it got pretty high praise for its varied gameplay and interesting weapons and level design, which I would be entitled to agree with. I kind of like the level design in this game. It's pretty open in some areas where it doesn't really tell you where to go, and you gotta kind of figure it out yourself and explore around. And the weapons, obviously, in my opinion, are the best part of the game. Now, multiplayer was okay, not the best, but I think it was more of just underwhelming because the game was actually released a few weeks before Half-Life, and also did not get as much media attention and as much budget towards advertising the game. So thus it kind of went away in silence fairly shortly into basically the hype of Half-Life. So it's kind of sad that it didn't get as much attention as it deserved. I mean, granted, Half-Life is also a really good game, but Shogo was also a really good new game too. What's kind of cool is that Shogo posters and magazines can sometimes be seen in the game Blood 2. And also some magazines of Blood 2 can be seen in Shogo. So it's kind of neat how the games reference each other, which is kind of nice. Now, like many other games, there was also a lot of deleted content from the game in order to get the product released on time. For example, the shotgun was originally going to have a shoulder stock that the player would be able to flip up and out of the way to handle. A gun was removed called pinch punchers, which was a mech equivalent to basically the dual pistols the player has when he's on foot. Some static loading pictures were removed. A movie file was removed entitled the Leviathan.mov. Some sound files and animations were also removed, and at least 2 whole levels are missing too. Now let's get to the actual interesting part of the game. Setting it up. This game is on goodoldgames.com, and it's really not that expensive, so I would recommend, if you don't own the game, to actually just go from goodoldgames.com and get it from there. It's a lot easier to run, just use their installer, and it's usually configured correctly right away. However, there are some settings you'll have to worry about if you want to use the box copy or physical copy of the game to get it installed. Especially, like Indiana Jones, it uses an old-fashioned 16-bit installer, which does not play very nice on 64-bit OS. So I will give you some information on to actually how to set it up and get it working. First, what you gotta do is copy the contents of the game from the games directory to your hard drive. So obviously put the disk into the computer, navigate to the root of the disk, and copy over the game directory to wherever you would like to install. Let's say C:, or program files under your C drive, and then put a folder in there called Shogo. And then under your Shogo folder, you'll put the game directory there. Now when you're done, right-click on that folder and deselect the read-only option. Next, copy the contents of the data and the movies directory to where you put your game directory. So wherever shogo.exe is on that hard drive, copy those folders as they show to that directory. Basically, this gives you what is equivalent to the full install of Shogo. Next, you actually have to put in a registry setting. So if you're not comfortable with this, that's okay. But it is basically needed. So open up regedit, go to the directory called HKLM local machine, software, Monolith Productions. Well, actually, that won't be there, I'm sorry. Go to HKLM local machine, software, create a new key there called Monolith Productions, and put a space between Monolith and Productions. And don't worry, I'll put this in the description of the video to how it should look. Under Monolith Productions, I'll put another key called Shogo, and under there, put another key called 1.0. Create a key in here called, that is a reg_sc, named WorkingDirectory. The W being caps, and the D being caps, and no space. I'll give that a value to where Shogo exists. So basically, if you put it under your a folder called Shogo and program files in your C drive, you'll put C:/ program files /Shogo. So yeah, pretty simple, but if you don't know what you're doing, just get the good old games option, as it's much easier and we'll take care of it for you. Now the last steps involve setting up the compatibility of the game. Right click on the shortcut and select Properties. Go to Compatibility tab and check to disable visual themes and disable display scaling on high DPI settings. I also select Run as Admin just in case, especially since a lot of the older games need that feature. Next, run the game and it should open up and you should see a button for Advanced Options. Open that up, put a check and disable DirectX 6 commands, and a check and disable joystick commands. And everything else I have selected is blank under the disable portion. For the enable portion, I have everything checked except enable single pass multi-texturing. Now the last step is actually patching the game, so go to your favorite website to download patches for all games. and download the latest patch. And the reason I have to put those checks in there is because I ran into a lot of situations where the game would just crash, and it was due to some the DirectX 6 commands. So disabling those makes the game run much better. So yeah, I totally recommend picking up this game. It's very fun, very fast, and just like what Monolith games are like, it's very gory and it has some pretty awesome weapons in it. So yeah, I give it 5 Gundams out of, I don't know, 5. It's a blast, man. Check it out. So, thanks for watching, and look forward to the next video.